How's everybody doing out there? This is The Black Effect, not to be confused with Charlemagne's The Black Effect podcast. I want to go ahead and touch on this. The vessel that there's a submarine vessel that just recently imploded and killed a billionaire and a few, and I think it was six others. Now this vessel was going down towards to go look at the ruins of the Titanic, and this submarine, or I don't know what you would call this. I guess you could call it. This is a Ocean Gate small submarine. This thing really looked like a tomb. This thing looked like it'll make you claustrophobic. I wouldn't want to be in this. It's just some things that I wouldn't want to do in my lifetime. And that's my point of making this video, is that stop with all of the human spedunkering. We have one person, renowned French diver, Paul-Henri Nargeolet, the British billionaire explorer, Hamish Harding. We have Shahzada Dawood and his son, Salman Dawood. Then you also have Ocean Gate's chief executive, Stockton Rush, who also perished on board. So you have an expert French diver, a British billionaire. You have the Shahzada Dawood, him and his son. They both, the guy had money, obviously, so they paid. And then Ocean Gate's chief executive was there too and also perished. The chief exec, that's like the guy, the chief executive, the person who created the Titanic, being on the Titanic and dying on the Titanic. This is what went on. You not only had a billionaire explorer who wanted to go down there, who perished. You had the chief executive, he's there. The person who should know all the intricate things about the ship or the submarine. And I'm using the term submarine lightly with this. Because again, this thing, let people tell it, this thing was basically put together like somebody made it in a basement. Basically. You can't open it from the inside. You only have so many chances to make it to the Titanic, before they have to pull it back. You are 2 miles under sea. Just drive 2 miles. Now picture going down that length. You can't, that's just asking for trouble. We don't belong. God didn't design us with gills. So he don't mean for us to go no further than where we can go under the sea. You understand? That's why people be getting killed by sharks and getting attacked by all this stuff. This is all due to human spedunkering. Human beings trying to be nosy and going into places where they don't belong. You ain't got no reason. You can't even control the land yet. Why are you worried about what's going on in the sea? Get your people together on the land first before you worried about stuff that's in the sea and really going to explore a tomb, a sea tomb. People in the Titanic, they died. That's let them rest in peace. What are you going down there to see, man? You need to just watch the movie and let that be the reason. You saw Leonardo DiCaprio. That was about the best historical. I don't think it was a historical film, but that was about the best rendition of the Titanic you're gonna get. That was a great film. It had a lot of history about the Titanic was put into the film. So I got enough what I needed. The Titanic died with the old lady Rose, man. She threw the chain down there. I don't want to let those people rest in peace. It's no reason for you to be going down here in a vessel or anything. This man, to be honest, you took your son down there. Can you imagine the horror that people be that they had to experience? I don't even want to touch on that too much because I wouldn't wish that on my enemy. That's horror. Like, these people went down there. Can you imagine? You go down there 2 miles. Your only choices is to suffocate, get out, or you can't get out. So you really only have a choice to suffocate, or blow up. You know, now even if you had the choice to get out and swim, who would try to get out and swim 2 miles up? You would die. You have, like, so there was no hope in that situation. And I'm not one of the conspiracy theories. I get tired of everything that come out. Everything got to be a conspiracy. I'm not on that. Like, some things, they may not be telling us, but this is just one of those things that, like, it just goes to show you that quit trying to spedunker and do things and be nosy and go to places that God did not intend you to go. It's the same thing with people going to the moon. I definitely don't believe that Buzz Aldrin and those people went to the moon. That didn't happen. We already know, it's been debunked that was the moon landing that they showed us was photoshopped. That's already been proven. But you could say things and stuff that's proven just because the information is out there and people, I don't believe that. I don't believe that, man. Get out of here, man. We ain't trying to, like, I'm not here with the tinfoil. It's like a healthy medium. I don't believe everything that I hear, and I'm also not the person who's in their trailer home with a tinfoil hat on talking about they coming to get us. I'm not that type of person either. I trust in the Most High God, in Jesus Christ, and he has a plan for everything that's going on. It's nothing that he don't know. You understand? The government not pulling the wool over his eyes because it's Satan controlling all that, and we get that. Big companies, the world organizations who control, all the money, there's world power superpowers. Those people, big companies and big pharma, control the government. Those people are the ones, who be manipulating certain systems and look at people as being expendable. But again, God controls them. God got his foot on their neck too. They ain't doing nothing, that God can't stop, or, they not pulling the wool over my eyes. Like, I already see through their lies. God has already told you. Jesus Christ came and saw through all their lies. Like, he already let you know what's happening. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We already know what's going on. So this, to me, like I said, this was just pointless. This is an example of stay your butt at the house. This is an example of I guarantee you that if you had NASA was to announce that in 2 years they were going to start sending people on tours, like they were going to start sending people on a tour to Mars. That's what NASA say. In 2 years' time, we're going to send people in 2 years. On January 3rd, we're going to start sending people to Mars. There will be people already signed up for that. Regardless of any information of test runs, regardless of anything, you would already have billionaires signing up for that. And people signing up for that. People with money, yes. Because people are just so curious to go spedunker and try to be the first to do, or they just don't consider themselves living if they not risking their lives. I'm not that type of person, but hey, at the end of the day, I believe that I'm risking my life every day by delivering these messages and this message of Christ. You know what I'm saying? So I do get that. Maybe that's where I'm getting that thrill from, but I don't really, like I said, I don't need that thrill of going and spedunkering in places and trying to explore in places where I'm not wanted, or that's hostile, or I don't even go to other countries where I don't speak the language, or I don't know the mojo, the move, or how things is working. That's just smart for me to do, and the Lord blesses me in that way. Give me discernment on where to move, man. I'm not finna go nowhere like, the Lord ain't make us with gills. Again, this ain't the Little Mermaid. Like, you ain't finna be going under the ocean. This ain't Aquaman. You don't know what's under there, like, that's deep, deep, deep in the ocean. And again, you don't have the equipment to reside there long. And this right here, this expedition was the stupidest thing that could have happened. Like, you would think that people would have took more precautions with this. But again, I just broke it down to you with the nature of what they're doing. I wouldn't want to do this if you paid me $1 billion. You understand? If you paid me $1 billion, I would not go on this trip and do this. They only have certain amount of tries to get it done. This little thing, this little vessel looked like it was made in a kid's basement. You understand? This thing put together, these little held together by these little wires and you know, like talking about this imploded. There should be, I shouldn't even hear that word implosion coming from these little from these situations. Like, you should already have all of that licked before you taking people down into the sub. It's the same thing like with airplanes. Like, if you coming down here and the probability is like 3 out of every 5 airplane that went up is exploding and the engine is failed, like, then we wouldn't be going up regularly in airplanes. So this needed more testing, but again, you can only fault the people. You can only, the fault, I'm gonna give you like, this is how God is looking at this. The fault is on the people who decided to go down there for no good reason. You know, these people are you got billionaires, people who got, you know, money, the guy who paid with his son. You got people starving out here. Why aren't you using your billions, or use some of the money that you went and all of the money that it took to go find this and figure out that this thing had imploded? You could have used all that money to help heal this country, heal some people, give reparations to black people in this country. You could have did a lot of things, but you want to go out and waste time and money spedunkering, trying to call yourself exploring this dead shipwreck. And now you're a part of it. Do you understand that? Now you got to explain to God why you in that afterlife early. Why, again, you weren't living for him. You didn't give your life to him. You weren't using those millions to help people. You weren't using those billions to come pay, you know, come pay some poor people bills out here, you know, and help them really set it off and change things up top on the earth. You want to worry about going down below the sea where you don't belong. And you know what I'm saying? This is when your time, your mortality came in question. It's sad for the families, yeah. Could you imagine how sad it was for them 5? It was sad for them 5 days. Like, now they have closure. At least now you know they dead. And maybe they didn't, you know, have to suffer so long because the shit thing imploded. That was the best case scenario, is implosion or explosion. Either one. Whatever implosion you want to where you can just, where in an instance you can blow me up and I can die. Thank you, Lord, for that. I would thank God for that swift death, because otherwise you had drowning to look forward to, being, you know, crushed under the seawater and drowning. You had starvation. If you know, you running out of oxygen, basically you was gonna suffocate before you starve. So these weren't good options. You know, so with that being said, man, look, prayers to the families for healing of these people. And I hope we learn now that we don't, like, we human beings, you don't have it. Like, we don't have it. This isn't the movies, and we don't have it like we think we do. And we need to stop sending people and experimenting on people. Like, our life is valuable. Our life is it's invaluable. Like, I can't put a worth or dollar amounts worth more than that guy's son's life is worth more than that billionaire's all of his money. It's worth all of his money. And this is, like, you know, multiple lives lost. So there is no price on that. You shouldn't, like, I don't know what you want to find out. You know, but there's nothing, your life isn't worth that. And God, the God of the universe, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, this God, our God, he didn't make it to where we had to risk our lives and put people's lives in danger in order to find out something, or in order to live our best life, or to be healed. I'll use an example. You heard sayings, there have been sayings that's like this since the beginning of time. That, you know, you have to crack some eggs to make an omelet. And the powers that be do not care about manipulating people, having some people die, looking at some people as being weaker or less valuable than others. And I've never been a subscriber of that. All lives are valuable to God. I don't care if you're a homeless person on the street or the billionaire who was in this vessel. Do you understand? And with that being said, like, all that's, like, it's not worth it. Nothing that we've discovered by sending people to their deaths is worth it. You know, experimenting on nuclear weapons and things like that, you know, where people died. They bomb tested people, and, you know, and you all these secret things that went on. That wasn't worth it from what we got from that. Human beings will kill themselves with nuclear weapons, you know, and things like AI and, you know, all of this other stuff that people that human beings want to try to tinkering, like how they tinker with diseases and make them worse. God never intended for you to do that. See, this is the knowledge of the fallen angels that human beings are using. And it's not helping you. Satan let these people out here, these people follow, you know, thought they doing something. Oh, we finna go see the Titanic. Now look at it. This is a horrible situation. So, and again, if you think that we went to the moon on technology that was worse than what you see, like look at all the technology that they supposedly used at NASA when they landed on the moon. It looked worse than this makeshift submarine here. And you think they took that into space? Yeah. This is why some people are sheep and lost, you know, on the earth today. With that being said, though, hey, prayers to the family. You know, hopefully, you know, they can have that. This closure helps them, and, you know, may the Most High comfort them. So with that being said, this is the Black Effect. You will never catch me doing some stuff like that. I don't even go swimming in the ocean too much. That being said, I'm gone.